after their 7-week taxpayer-funded vacation. These people have been missing in action, absent without official leave, running scared, but they can no longer hide. The Rules Committee is going to meet shortly, and then tomorrow there will be votes on the House floor. And Democrats will continue to press the case, to say to our Republican colleagues, you have another opportunity to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits and make sure that tens of millions of Americans all across the country in communities that Republicans represent, along with us as Democrats, tens of millions of Americans, rural America, working class America, urban America, small town America, the heartland of America, and in black and brown communities all across America, people at risk of experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Before the Rules Committee this evening, House Democrats, led by myself and Whip Catherine Clark, will give the Republicans another opportunity to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits by introducing an amendment that will extend these tax credits for a 3-year period of time. The same period of time that these tax credits were extended back in 2022. Republicans have created a health care crisis all across America. Largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers closing all throughout the country because of what Republicans did in their one big ugly bill. Medicare still at risk of the largest cut it may confront in American history unless Congress acts by the end of this year. And of course, because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits in the midst of a cost of living crisis that already exists, that they failed to address, health care for people all across this country is on the brink of becoming unaffordable. Working class Americans, everyday Americans, middle class Americans, unable to afford to go see a doctor. This is in America, the wealthiest country in the history of the world. And so once again, House Republicans, welcome back from your taxpayer-funded 7-week vacation. You now have an opportunity to actually take some action in an area of this health care crisis by working with Democrats before the Rules Committee this evening to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Democrats have been engaged in this struggle on behalf of the health care of the American people for a long time. FDR engaged in this struggle. Johnson engaged in this struggle. Truman engaged in this struggle. Bill Clinton engaged in this struggle. Barack Obama engaged in this struggle. House Democrats are here to continue to engage in this struggle to decisively address the Republican health care crisis, standing on the shoulders of Democrats who for decades have been fighting to deliver affordable, high-quality health care for the American people. Questions?
Yeah, thank you. So a provision was added into the legislation with regard to a potential, which I think you're referring to, that senators could essentially sue the U.S. government for up to $500,000 if they can prove that the data was used in investigations. What do you say to that, and is there any chance that that will be removed from the CR?
House Democrats are going to offer an amendment before the Rules Committee to get that self-dealing sick provision out of the spending agreement. The notion that 8 Republican senators signed off by John Thune and the Republicans, apparently in the Senate and in the House, would give themselves the ability, essentially, to rip millions of taxpayer dollars away from the American people so they could line their pockets because these people were insurrectionist sympathizers is insanity. And we're going to tattoo that provision, just like we're going to tattoo the Republican health care crisis on the foreheads of every single House Republican who dares vote for this bill. Manu?
There have been a number of members of your own caucus who have called on Senator Schumer to be replaced as Democratic leader. Are you okay with those calls coming from within your own caucus?
As I've indicated, we're focused right now on pressing the case in addressing the Republican health care crisis. We'll be before the Rules Committee in moments. We'll have a family conversation as House Democrats. We're strongly opposed as House Democrats to this reckless Republican effort to continue to raise the high cost of living on everyday Americans, which is exactly what they're doing by failing to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Nicole?
Mr. Leader, even though you said that Democrats are opposed, you would expect any Democrats to defect tomorrow like they did in the Senate?
I will have that conversation during our caucus meeting at noon, but our strong expectation is that Democrats will be strongly opposed. Many have issued statements. The New Dem coalition came out today. That's the largest caucus within the House Democratic Caucus, opposed to this Republican spending bill because it fails to address the health care crisis that Republicans have created.
Mr. Leader, even though you said that Democrats are opposed, you would expect any Democrats to defect tomorrow like they did in the Senate?
I will have that conversation during our caucus meeting at noon, but our strong expectation is that Democrats will be strongly opposed. Many have issued statements. The New Dem coalition came out today. That's the largest caucus within the House Democratic Caucus, opposed to this Republican spending bill because it fails to address the health care crisis that Republicans have created. Michael?
Thank you. Mr. McDonough mentioned he rode the train to make it back in town. Obviously, all of your members are trying to get back. Do you anticipate all Democrats will be here tomorrow in order to oppose this bill and put pressure on Speaker Johnson to rally all of his members to support the legislation?
Yes.
Congresswoman-elect Alita Grijalva is scheduled to be sworn in tomorrow, and then you expect, she has said she will sign the discharge petition, the Kana Massey discharge petition. Can you tell us when you would expect that vote to actually happen? Just explain to people who've kind of been waiting for this for so long. Explain when you would expect that Epstein vote.
Yeah, let me defer to Whip Clark and once and future Chairman Jim McGovern on that issue.
Thank you. It is long overdue that the Congresswoman-elect take her place, her rightful place, and be sworn in. So we are being told by the Republicans that that will happen now. They anticipate at 4 o'clock tomorrow before we begin debate on the rule. And it is just another one of those breathtaking split screens that as they are home, and we are watching this suffering going on, that they have also decided to put off swearing in Congresswoman-elect Grijalva because they don't want her to sign a discharge petition that would force a vote on the Epstein files. So they don't want to give Americans health care, and they don't want to find justice for the survivors and victims of Jeffrey Epstein. It is an amazingly arrogant and dangerous statement that they are making to the American people about their own security.
And it should if she signs it tomorrow, it should ripen in early December, so we can expect a vote. I mean, that doesn't mean that the Speaker of the House might try to do some, shenanigans with the discharge petition, but if all goes the way we want it to go, early December.
It's unbelievable that for 7+ weeks, Representative-elect Alita Grijalva, who was elected in late September, decisively has been denied the ability to serve more than 800,000 people in Arizona. And why is that the case? It's because Republicans are running a pedophile protection program. They are intentionally hiding the Jeffrey Epstein files. But those days are over, because as soon as Representative-elect Alita Grijalva becomes Congresswoman Grijalva, her first act, as she's indicated, is going to be to sign that discharge petition. It's going to force a vote on the House floor, and the American people are going to get the transparency that they deserve.
Jeffries, you've not taken off the table petition on the ACA subsidy, excuse me. So have you had any outreach yet to Republicans on that, or is it too soon for this one?
We haven't had any conversations with Republicans. We're going to be before the Rules Committee shortly. We're going to introduce an amendment that gives them an opportunity to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, and we're going to continue to make the point to our Republican colleagues. Our position is simple: cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care. Thank you, everyone.